Hey everyone, Grantfly here. Welcome back. This is another pre-modern video, and I'll be running this deck through a league in this video. This is a deck I'm calling Partial English Breakfast. It's a survival recurring nightmare sort of value deck, but it also has an infinite combo in it. So to back up, the reason I'm calling it Partial English Breakfast is an homage to Full English Breakfast, which is a combo deck with Survival and Volrath Shapeshifter. This is a deck that's currently exists in Pre-Modern and has existed in Extended and Standard long ago. And that deck centers around getting a Volrath Shapeshifter into play and then getting a Phyrexian Tower into your graveyard, either with Survival or with the Shapeshifter's ability, putting a bunch of activations on the stack, and then getting a bunch of counters on it, but before the sacrifice trigger resolves, getting Triskelion into the graveyard, so then it has a bunch of +1/+1 counters, and you can shoot them with Triskelion. There's also other ways it can win, involving Volrath Shapeshifter. This is a card that can do a lot. It copies the top creature card of your graveyard, if it is a creature card. Otherwise, it's an 0/1. So I think there's been builds with Chroma and Psychotog, and there's a lot of things you can do. You can have it come into play as a Palinchron and untap some lands to help keep the combo going. So it's a pretty versatile card. However, blue and green are enemy colors, so the mana is kind of rough in that deck. And to be fair, this deck is a lot of survival decks are black and green, which are also enemy colors. But anyway, I don't know how good that deck is. It's pretty difficult to play. It's also very combo oriented. So I wanted to try out a build that had a little bit more economy of space, and a build where you don't need to play as many combo pieces, and you can kind of function as a regular survival deck most of the time with value creatures and Squee and accumulating advantage, but also have a combo finish. And to go over the name, why was that deck called Full English Breakfast? Well, it was designed, as I understand it was designed in England, and it has all of these different components and a lot of different pieces. So they decided it was the whole Full English Breakfast in terms of what cards you were playing, because it was playing stuff like Phyrexian Dreadnought originally and Flowstone Hellion. So there's a cool tournament report I found, which I will link to in the description, from way back in the day, of Paul Barclay playing this deck at a couple of PTQs. And Full English Breakfast is the name of a breakfast item in England, or a breakfast dish in England. And back then, all these combo decks were named after cereals. That was kind of the meme that was going around at the time. So there was Trix, there was Wheaties, Cocoa Pebbles, Fruity Pebbles, probably some more I'm not even remembering. And so that's a cool name. I like that. And this deck is kind of a version of that, but it's using a much more scaled down combo component. So that was the reasoning behind calling it Partial English Breakfast. And as far as I know, the Palinchron Recurring Nightmare loop didn't really have a cool name. So I didn't think I was missing anything, but you can chime in the comments if that's wrong, and I will learn that I was wrong. But I don't think it really had any name before this. So we're calling it Partial English Breakfast. So what's the combo? The combo is Recurring Nightmare, Palinchron. If you have 6 lands and 2 of them are non-pain sources of black, then you can play Recurring Nightmare twice in a loop with Palinchron. So you have a you need another creature as well. So let's say you have Palinchron and Graveyard creature in play. You play Recurring Nightmare, you sacrifice the creature, you bring back Palinchron, you tap some lands or whatever if you have extra mana floating. But let's say you had to tap out. It untaps 6 of your lands, so then you get 6 mana. You can play Recurring Nightmare again, sacrifice the Palinchron to get back whatever creature. You have 3 mana left. Then you play Recurring Nightmare again, sacrifice the creature, get back Palinchron, you go back up to 6. So that's infinite loops. If you have 7 lands, it's infinite mana, which is what I had in the previous build. It was centered around infinite mana, or I've played this deck in paper with more focused on the infinite mana combo. However, the problem with Moto is that there's a clock and you can't really functionally generate infinite anything on Moto if it requires clicking through a bunch of times. So it's too cumbersome to actually get infinite mana. And if you do have infinite mana, you can play in a chroma, cycle through your deck till you get, find whatever creature you want or use survival, use the infinite mana to transfer infinite 1/1 counters onto a chroma and attack that turn. But obviously that's not really feasible in the amount of time that you have on Moto with the clock. So what can you do? One thing you can do is functionally forget about the infinite mana and just get a Triskelion and loop Triskelion with Palinchron, and at every iteration of the loop, deal them 3 damage. And that's much faster, much more accomplishable in the time frame you have. And Triskelion's a pretty okay creature. Obviously 6 mana is a lot, but it does do something when you play it. You can control the board with it. It's also somewhat decent even with just Recurring Nightmare, bring it back and killing some stuff, or as fodder for Recurring Nightmare. So I think that's the most elegant solution, and it requires you to play the fewest cards that aren't great on their own. The only one really is Palinchron and sort of Triskelion, but again, it's not that bad. So what's the rest of the deck? The rest of the deck is just a kind of regular survival value deck, the typical sort of control-ish board control build that plays Cabal Therapy. It plays silver bullet creatures like Monk Realist and Uktabi Orangutan, Bone Shredder, Mesmeric Fiend, Withered Wretch. You've got the core for survival. You've got the core for Wall of Blossoms, which is very good with Recurring Nightmare and Cabal Therapy. Birds of Paradise, Masticore, Deranged Hermit. These are all kind of standard. And then the other element of this build, which is the reason I like it and I think it has some promise, is that you get to play Academy Rector. There's a 1/2. When it dies, you can exile it, search for an enchantment card, and put it onto the battlefield. So there's a few reasons I like Academy Rector. One, in a survival deck. One is that it gets survival of the fittest. And if you played survival, you know that the deck is much, much better when you have a survival of the fittest in play versus when you don't. And you can sacrifice it with Cabal Therapy to try and make that happen. The other good thing it gets is Recurring Nightmare, which if you're trying to combo with Recurring Nightmare is, pretty useful to have. And even if you can't combo, it's useful to have it to try and, for example, loop Deranged Hermits or loop Bone Shredders or something like that. Basically, deal with what your opponent's doing for a while until you can find the rest of your combo. Or sometimes kill them with Deranged Hermit or a Triskelion. It also lets you fetch up some silver bullet enchantments. I don't have many of those in the main deck right now. The only one I have is Pernicious Deed, which is a really powerful card that doesn't see a ton of play in pre-modern as much as you might expect, because it's black and green. The mana is kind of rough for that color combination, and the most typical black-green deck you see is this sort of survival rock deck, but Deed's a little awkward with survival because it blows up survival, it blows up the mana creatures you would usually play with survival. But the reason I think that is somewhat mitigated in this build, first of all, you have Academy Rector to go get it, so you don't have to find it and use it. You don't run the risk of just playing a bunch of copies and having them be bad. You can just play one copy and get it if you think it's going to be good. But the other reason that that's somewhat mitigated is this other card I'm playing, which is a bit unusual, which is Veteran Explorer. 1/1, when it dies, each player can search their library for up to 2 basic land cards and put them onto the battlefield and shuffle. So this card doesn't see a ton of play because giving your opponent 2 lands is a pretty significant drawback, especially if they're going to get another turn. But I think it makes sense in this build for a few reasons. One, the infinite combo requires you to have 6 lands in play, and 2 of them have to be non-pain sources of black mana to loop Recurring Nightmare twice. So you need basic swamps, essentially. So Veteran Explorer is the most efficient way to go get basic lands. You could play Yavimaya Granger, which I have done in the past, but this deck doesn't really have elf synergies or anything, so Veteran Explorer is just way more efficient at 1 mana. The other reason is that it kind of helps to fix your mana to get Academy Rector, which does cost 4, which is kind of a lot. And then additionally, also because of the Academy Rector, you're playing a 3-color deck, so you want a few more cards that can fix your colors, but you don't want to necessarily play a ton of lands because then you'll flood out or whatever. So I am playing 21, which is 1 more than usual, but the Veteran Explorers are also a key part of fixing the mana base. And it should help with the mana in general, because even in the green-black version of Survival, or the green-blue version, like, the mana is pretty bad. So Veteran Explorer is just another card that can help you fix that. And then I was talking about Pernicious Deed. It's a little bit less bad with Pernicious Deed because sometimes you want to activate Deed and kill your Veteran Explorer and get the lands. So it sort of mitigates the drawback of Pernicious Deed killing your own stuff. So that's kind of the basic outline of the deck. It's a regular green-black survival control-ish type deck that also has a infinite combo. The lands, I won't go over the mana base too much. I mean, this is the mix of lands that I think is best to be able to cast all your spells. And I have a Phyrexian Tower in here as the 21st land because it synergizes well with Veteran Explorer and Academy Rector as an additional sacrifice outlet on a land. And it can help you sort of jumpstart the Recurring Nightmare, either the combo or just get a loop going that could be advantageous in the game. So that's the basics of the main deck. The idea, again, behind the deck is just somewhere between a pure green-black value survival deck and a combo survival deck with the minimum amount of combo pieces possible, hence partial English breakfast. So to go over the sideboard real quick, one thing with survival decks is you can't board that much in any one matchup because you need to keep a critical mass of creatures in your deck for survival. So I just have a lot of different cards that I would board in depending on the matchup, but I wouldn't plan to board in a ton of cards in any matchup. And just one more thing on the main deck, which I forgot to mention. Obviously, we're playing Cabal Therapy, 4 of those, and 2 Duress. The idea with this is to try and insulate against your opponent doing anything too good if you do have to sacrifice Veteran Explorer and give them some lands, and also to clear the way for your combo if you're going for that. Obviously this is a card any green-black survival deck's going to play for these anyway because they're just very good. But we're leaning kind of extra hard on the Cabal Therapies and to a lesser extent Duress and Mesmeric Fiend in this version. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, back to the sideboard. A Crypt and a Furnace as anti-graveyard cards, a couple of Duress against combo decks and decks that would have all out non-creature spells that we might want to tag. This might be too many Duress. I don't know if we can actually afford to bring both of them in. I should probably think about this a little bit more carefully. Or I'll say this sideboard isn't necessarily optimized, but we got 2 in the board for now. One Carrion Feeder. This is a card I almost played main deck because it is a sacrifice outlet for Academy Rector and Veteran Explorer, but I don't quite think it's strong enough to play main deck. But I do think there are matches where you'd want to board it in to kind of facilitate being able to sacrifice these cards faster. It's also one you can tutor for with Survival of the Fittest if you really need to. If you have an Academy Rector and you need to figure out a way to sacrifice it. So I think there are matchups where that could be good. Mesmeric Fiend, an additional sort of like disruption piece, mainly against combo decks and control decks. Naturalize, just as an extra kind of piece of interaction. I added this. This is kind of the last card I've added to the board. You know, you might want it against Dreadnought combo, against other survival decks. There's additional copies of this kind of thing with Monk Realist and an additional Monk Realist, additional Uktabi Orangutan, additional Spike Feeder against a Sligh or Burn opponent or someone who's pressuring your life total a lot. 3 Engineered Plagues against tribal decks. I think you only need 3 here because you do have Academy Rector, so it's like you have 6 virtual copies. An Absolute Law against red, Sligh and goblins. It's possible there could be a different anti-red card that could be better. Maybe Sphere of Resistance would be the way to go. Maybe Warmth. But I think protecting your creatures makes a certain degree of sense because you do combo with an infinite combo that involves creatures. One more Seal of Cleansing to fetch up with the Academy Rector. So the sideboard might need some work. I'm not sure. I mean, we're covering all the bases, but it's kind of mostly just redundant copies of things that are already in the main deck. But again, that's because I don't think you can afford to change a ton about the deck when you're sideboarding. So this is the build of Partial English Breakfast. Hopefully I've explained the reasoning behind trying to play this version, and we'll see how it goes. Back for round 1. All right. This hand is a 1-lander, but it has everything else, so I'm going to keep. We have Veteran Therapy to try and get some lands. We got Survival. We got Duress. It's going to be slow going, but there's also a risk they just wasteland the City of Brass right now because they are playing Weathered Wayfarer, which could be very bad. I don't want to expose Veteran Explorer to Sword Splash Ears. I think I'm just going to play Duress and try to guarantee we get some sort of card. Okay, Swords, Cataclysm, Psychotog, Weathered Wayfarer. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to take Swords, I think. Because we can tag the Cataclysm later. That's the theory anyway. We definitely don't want that to resolve. It's pretty good against us. Or at least it can be. They're not playing Island. I'm definitely cool with that, since I don't have another land anyway. Okay, we're going to get the Cataclysm now so that we don't expose Explorer to a Swords. And then we can flash it back. Or maybe we should get Psychotog now. I mean, we're going to get it later. Seems like it's kind of the same, but we'll get the Cataclysm now because that's, I think, more important to make sure that we get rid of that. The Bastion is pretty good here. Little do they know, we are horribly mana screwed. All right. Yes. But we have needed City of Brass to play these different colors. I guess it could have been a Llanowar Wastes as well. Okay, we're going to get, I guess, Forest and Swamp here. Portent and 2 islands. Okay. And then I think the play, we want survival. We could just try and land survival while we have the mana, but we have 2 survivals. I think I'm going to play Wall of Roots just to increase our mana. And yeah, I might not be able to narrate everything I'm doing because this deck does take a while. Get in for 1. Okay, they still didn't play a land. I'm gonna play the birds here. Get some more mana. Okay. I gotta try and resolve Rector this turn, I think. Protect against a Cataclysm. Okay. Not the end of the world. I guess we'll just pass. Exalted Angel. Okay, we can deal with that. We actually might be able to combo here. Let me see. They have one card. I think we're going to try it. Could go badly, but I think it's worth trying. Okay, so we can discard Squee. Go get Bone Shredder. Play Bone Shredder. Oh no, we know what their card is. It's a land. So yeah, we're good to go. Okay, they conceded. Maybe they knew what was going to happen. Not sure. But we were going to Bone Shredder our own Academy Rector and go off with the Recurring Nightmare. Palinchron. Loop it once for a Veteran Explorer to get the last swamp, and then we can go off. All right, so it's some sort of mid-range Cataclysm. Esper deck. What would be good here? Probably the extra Fiend. Not really using their graveyard. I guess there's Psychotog, but we do have the Withered Wretch to try and contain it, and we have a bunch of blockers, so I'm not that concerned with that one. The Carrion Feeder could be good here. They're probably going to be bringing in anti-graveyard cards. So I think Deed could still be good to deal with Meddling Mage. Same reason. For that reason, we still want Bone Shredder, I think. Maybe there's not going to be an enchantment target. I guess they played Seal of Cleansing, but that's kind of a corner case to be able to tag that. I guess the Spike Feeder might not be that great in this matchup, so we can cut that for the Fiend. And maybe just get this Carrion Feeder in here somehow. Masticore doesn't seem too good here. Although if they're bringing more graveyard hate, maybe I don't want to exacerbate my use of the graveyard. Wall of Roots is pretty crucial. You know, yeah, let's try the Carrion Feeder. See how it is. I don't think I want any of the other stuff. It's a good hand. Yep, we do have Furnace. Not too surprising. I'm going to lead with the birds, I think. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go ahead and snag this Psychotar because I think that could be a problem. All right, our graveyard and our survival is very much locked down. Okay, let's get rid of Fact or Fiction, I think. Okay, I don't really want to make this trade at the moment. Do I play Squee? I'm not going to, I don't think. Because, yeah, I don't want to expose it to dying and getting furnace. Yeah, I guess I want to play this so I can play Triskelion, although I know they have a counter spell. I suppose I can hold it. I can hold it. now they got to stop attacking. I also have to stop attacking. I think I'm supposed to wait. I'm playing this. I can probably throw out the birds now. Well, there's not really any reason to, actually. Yeah, okay, I guess we just stare at each other. Until I'm waiting to draw some kind of discard spell to clear the way for my orangutan. Okay, I guess I can play one more birds now that I have another. I guess I'll hold that in case of Cataclysm. I'm just playing Drago here at this point, which does not favor me. Yeah, there's a Factor Fiction. Gush, Ray of Revelation. Yeah, this is not good. I guess I'll do it this way. Doesn't really make sense. Yep. Okay. I think maybe I want them to tap out for Psychotog right now. I guess I'll keep the swamp since I'm going to get a bunch of other basic lands. Hurting me. Yeah, that's not good. All right, we might be about to concede here. We did shuffle. Pernicious Deed. Okay. I guess we bait out with the Uktabi. It's awkward. We're not going to be able to blow it up right away for what we want, but it's at least something. to get rid of these meddling mages, so I have to just pass. Hope they don't have a disenchant or something. If they're playing Psychotog here, then obviously they do, or they wouldn't be doing this. All right, we can concede to that probably. Well, I mean, I guess I'll just do it and see what happens. Make them use it, I suppose. All right. The draw go game did not favor us. They got to name our survival and we couldn't do anything. So what does that mean? Duress doesn't hit Meddling Mage. Maybe we need a little bit more insulation against that kind of thing. I don't think Monk Realist really has any particularly good targets here. Might want another Orangutan just to draw. Kills Furnace and can trade with a Meddling Mage. We could board out. I don't think we can afford to board out Survival, but we could board out like a 1 Rector perhaps. Okay, or Withered Wretch. I mean, it deals with, it sort of mitigates Psychotog, but not very well. I think we'll just ignore that part. Yeah. And just focus on killing the Furnace. Do I want another one? I kind of do want one. But what do I play? Or what do I take out? Guess maybe a Rector. All right, we'll try this. This might be going too far, but let's give it a shot. I could also, maybe I should take out Veteran Explorer because this matchup's kind of slow. All right. Yeah, this is the kind of hand you get sometimes. Man, I think it's not really a very good hand, so I guess I'll mulligan. Despite the fact that it has all my colors. All right, and now I have a hand with no lands in it. Definitely gonna mulligan that. Gotta keep this one. Put back Llanowar Wastes, I guess. I guess I'll name Furnace because that's a very problematic card. Okay. Well, their hand seems like something we could have worked through if we had more cards, but we just don't. So it's looking pretty bad here. guess I can just throw this out and see if they counter it. No real reason they need to, but yeah. Looking very bad here. Okay, I mean, that's decent. Let's try and get this recurring nightmare loop going, I guess, if we can. I'm going to get the Gush, I guess, while I still have the opportunity. Wait, no, then I can't play Recurring Nightmare. Okay, I guess I have to target the Annul. Because it's fine, I can just wait to draw another creature. No, I need to Gush, I think. Gush, counterspell, Annul. All right. Null portion. Okay, that's a pretty good hand. I guess at this point I just need to play this as a creature. For mana efficiency's sake. And what am I hitting, if anything? I guess nothing at this point. I'll wait. It does seem like this Seal of Cleansing might have been better as something else so far. All right, well, we have a lot of protection, but nothing to do with it yet. But maybe eventually we will start beating down. Yeah, what was the last card we took out for the Seal? Academy Rector. Definitely would have been much better to have an Academy Rector this game. So this is the danger of overboarding with the survival deck. It's just one card, but it can definitely matter. Yeah. Did not shuffle. Okay, that's a bad sign. Just a land, probably. Oh, a Veteran Explorer. They're giving me that. Interesting. I guess that's what they want. Need to name Meddling Mage here. Okay. All right. So we did some stuff. And they are going to play a Psychotog. Oh, I think I got rid of too many cards, but also down to 5 minutes. So whatever I'm doing, I need to do it more. I think I got too many swamps here, but trying to play fast. Yeah, we can just try and start looping Wall with Recurring Nightmare and see what happens. I guess the Psychotog is a bit of a problem. All right, Gush, also a problem. All right. That might do it. I think I just have to, I guess I hold this. All right, we died. I think actually this matchup could be okay if we don't double mulligan there, and I should have kept my Academy Rector in, but we're learning. All right, we'll return for round 2. More awkward hands. Yeah, I think we got to keep this one and just hope our birds lives. The joys of playing black-green. I think new rule also, no mulligan, or no going below 25 creatures post board. That's a new rule I've made up for myself just now. Because with survival it's bad, and then you also have recurring nightmare. It's just extra bad. You can't do it. All right, do not kill my birds. Fuck. Okay, could be in trouble here. All right. Always lucky. I don't know what's going on over there. It's not the most mana efficient play, but I think I'm supposed to duress here. Diabolic. Okay, this is what's going on. Contamination. That's sweet. Guess I just take. Actually, maybe I take Keg and then I can get the arena next turn. I have infinity. Do I even care about Keg that much? Maybe not. I do kind of care about it. I'm going to take Keg and get the arena later and the Diabolic Intent after that. All right, if they intent, then for Contamination, they can't play it right away. So I think I am just going to play Wall here. And I'll just draw the Swamp. Smokestack, yuck. Okay. Actually, I do not want them to play that, so I am just going to get it right now. Okay. 3 lands versus 3 lands versus Nether Spirit. Another Nether Spirit. It's pretty good, but not as good as Contamination would have been. Don't think it's worth playing any of these cards right now. Like, I don't really want to trade with a Nether Spirit because then it just comes back. Maybe I was supposed to therapy for Smokestack there in case they drew another. decent. It's not great. I think I just play this to buy some life. See, it's that or Keg. I mean, maybe now they probably have Furnace main. I can't play this. I don't want to play this Orangutan yet. Just play this to buy some time. Actually, maybe that was wrong because I could have used it to kill Rector if I draw planes, but I'm taking too much damage to worry about that right now. Okay, guess I have to play this Orangutan. I'm taking 8. Smother, that's not good. Guess I'm taking 8 anyway, but I'll go ahead and make them use it. What can I get here? Go ahead and discard this Rector since I don't have the mana for it. I can get birds, but then I'll die. I can get Wall of Roots. I block 1 and then, yeah, I don't think I have time to mess around with Squee. So I think I just need to get Wall of Roots here. Okay, that was a good draw. Now I can play Wall. I think I need to try and avoid taking any more damage. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Okay, I think this works. All right, now it's just a matter of getting one more creature so I can survival for Triskelion. There we go. I didn't think about how maybe this isn't very entertaining to watch. And I guess in practice it's probably faster to just get a bunch of Deranged Hermit tokens and pass the turn, but this is why we're here, so we're going to do this. All right, they have conceded. Guess they were convinced that I would keep doing it. All right, so Contamination. I mean, I'm assuming they're playing Contamination. Didn't actually see it, but Definitely want graveyard hate. They're going to be bringing in more graveyard hate, so we want these two. I do think Seal of Cleansing is pretty good here. Bone Shredder, definitely not good. Want these. I think I might want the Carrion Feeder too. Monk Realist, maybe not good because it costs white and you wouldn't have white if they have a Contamination in play. I guess you could say the same for Seal of Cleansing and Academy Rector. But this you can play in advance, so not quite the same. Spike Feeder, probably not a matchup for that. I did say I wouldn't board below 25 creatures, and now I'm doing it. Maybe we could take out a Recurring Nightmare, because they're probably... Although it is a card you can play under Contamination, so I do like it for that reason. Masticore actually isn't great here. Although again, you can play it under Recurring Nightmare. This deck is tricky. Very tricky to know what to do. Deed, I guess Deed can do some stuff. I want this Carrion Feeder too, I think. Guess we just got to take out Deed for Seal. And I don't know what else to cut. I guess it's a Recurring Nightmare based on my rule from before. Okay, try that. This hand is not great, but it has some disruption. I think I am going to keep. Okay, that's probably going to miss. I'm assuming they're naming Survival here. But maybe they'll name Duress if they have something they want to do. Name Survival, yeah. Despite the Therapy Blossom Synergy, I think I want to name or play Duress here. Okay, port. They're going to port me. I guess I'll just get this Phyrexian Arena. My hand's a bit resilient to Contamination because of the Masticore. But I will probably still name it with Cabal Therapy because I don't want to deal with that very much. All right, I am going to give them more information by playing this because I don't want to have to play City of Brass. Okay, there goes my Masticore. I'm assuming. Not a great draw. I think we just want to get rid of this Diabolic Intent while we can. Put us both in top deck mode. Zombie infestation. Okay. The beginning of a clock. One, two, three, four, five. We could almost play Palinchron. I would have to expose either city or Phyrexian Tower. So which of those would I rather expose? Maybe city, actually? Well, I guess I can't play city because then they can just kill me with port, potentially. Not kill me, but they can tap it forever, so I should probably play that one instead. I guess there's an argument to hold both of them, since this is a sack outlet. Yeah, I think I played birds. We could have a sweeper or something, but I think I got to risk it. And then next turn we might be playing Palinchron and beating down. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we still wouldn't have enough mana. But maybe. Let's see what they do. I don't think they know about this Palinchron, but I could be wrong. So, should I play it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It would require me. No, it wouldn't require me to play brass. Okay, then I'll definitely do it, I think. And they can kill it now, but I don't think it matters that much to me if they do. This Hermit doesn't attack that effectively, but maybe still worth it just to keep up the pressure. Tough to know. I kind of just need to do whatever, something. I guess this also takes me off of Palinchron. I should have left up Tower. That was a mistake. Although, yeah, they could have just tapped down my land anyway if they wanted to. Guess I'll leave it up this time. All right, do I get rid of Nether Spirit here is the question. I think it's probably fine to do. I guess this is another feature of Palinchron. It can, you can just play it and attack in the air. Right, they're Diabolic Intenting. I just kind of realized they have like no black mana. It could be kind of awkward, but we'll see what they get here. All right, I don't see what they get. They just get something. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, let's go ahead and attack. Just tap them out of everything, and then we can go get Survival, which can go get something. can work a Triskelion in here somehow. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Let's get Triskelion. Simplify things here. All right, we got a victory. All right. Hand is reasonable. Have no idea what I'm up against, and I'm on the play. So the eternal question, do you just fire off the therapy blind? I think no, but I could be wrong. Okay. Maybe this is another contamination deck. Certainly could be. And I got my recurring nightmare. I'm gonna go ahead. I'll get the plains. I'm gonna go ahead and get this wall of roots down, I think. Okay, black-white. What does a black-white deck play? Could be a Phyrexian Arena. I wouldn't want to see that, so I'll name that, I guess. Swords. I will add a mana. Okay, whiffed. Wrath of God, Exalted Angel, Decree of Justice. Sure. Wall Blossoms. Draw a card. And I guess I'll play Exalted, or I'll get this Exalted Angel because I don't have an answer for it at the moment. Okay, we got a good old-fashioned top deck war on our hands. Not sure I want this in play right now. Okay, there's an Exalted Angel. So our time is running out. play a Mesmeric Fiend. Does it really do anything? Unclear. Yeah, I mean, it might. I'll go ahead and play it. Vindicate Wrath. God, I guess I'll take Vindicate so they have to Wrath if they want it back. Okay, I need a answer pretty soon. I need a survival. I guess I will just play. I will play Veteran Explorer at this point to block, because if I take 5, I guess I could take 5. I don't know. I think I guess I'm just supposed to block to get some lands on me. Oh, they're not gonna. Right, they're not gonna attack. Sure. Seal. Okay, that's pretty good. It's going to make it difficult, for sure. Therapy. Okay. Okay. Can still survive for one more turn with a survival, but not with a Veteran Explorer. All right, that'll do it. Had a lot of outs there, but did not draw any of them. Okay, black-white control. I guess Mesmeric Fiend's pretty solid. I think, again, this isn't really a spike feeder matchup. They'll have some more graveyard hate, so maybe I want another, either a Naturalize or a Seal of Cleansing. I don't really think there's an enchantment they could board in that would be that good. They might have Arena, though. You could argue you want Carrion Feeder to protect against swords. We have all this discard. I don't know if that's that big of a deal. Withered Wretch, maybe not doing so much. Get that Orangutan in there. Masticore is not really particularly good here. Board in the feeder for that. guess if they're going after the graveyard, board in this Seal of Cleansing for Recurrent Nightmare. And this seems like the right number of other cards. All right, I'll go with that. Yeah, I can't really mug in that. I am going to go ahead and play this Explorer, because if they spend their turn swordsing that, I can resolve survival and maybe not get that killed right away. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I think it's better to just not do nothing first turn. Okay. So that will stop Rector, but it won't stop Explorer. Planar Void. Okay, I kept in my, whatchamacallit, Realist, so that's good. What am I trying to do here? Definitely trying to attack for 1. I guess there's an argument to be made that I should wall so that I can, I don't know, do I want to protect against Duress or do I want to protect against a Seal of Cleansing or Disenchant? I think, which is more likely? Tough to say. I feel like Duress is still more likely. Plus, I might still want this creature to discard to survival, so I'm gonna do that. Okay, no white mana. Huh, I could deed for 1. Then I am yet again giving up. Also, I don't really want to deed for 1 because they don't have white mana right now. Okay, yeah, I guess I'll discard this wall and get Monk Realist. Okay, so they do get a Plains, which I guess is probably going to let them vindicate my survival, but at least they have the Rector now. Gerard's Verdict, Decree, Wrath of God. I do not want to get verdicted right now, so I'll pick that. Okay, guess we might be deeding away our own Explorer pretty soon. And if they just block the Explorer, I think that's good for me. So I'll probably just let that happen. Blocking that is not as good. But it's not the end of the world. So yeah, I guess the question is, do I want to use this on Explorer right now or not? I don't think so. Because like I can't kill the Rector right away, so I think I'm supposed to wait until I can. And it does ramp them a decent amount, so I think I'm supposed to wait. But maybe I'll hold this land in case I get verdicted. That's a better reason to do it, or another motivation to do it, I should say. Still not going to though. Exalted Angel Hardcast. Okay, we might be at the time. Let's see. Yeah, I guess maybe it's time to do this. Okay, that's actually pretty good. Okay, so we can Rector. Go get a survival, get rid of the other Exalted Angel probably. Pass the turn, I guess. Return Eternal Dragon, okay. Let's see, could we just go off here? If we get Palinchron, discard Palinchron for Carrion Feeder, play that, get Recurring Nightmare, get Palinchron. We could try. It does lose if they top deck to Swords or something, but I think it's actually kind of worth trying. At least we can take a draw and see what we get here. Or we could just draw a Recurring Nightmare. That's pretty good because now we can just take a peek at their hand. So I can get Mesmeric Fiend, and if it's not good, I can not do it. I did not tap right there, but hopefully it won't matter. Yeah, okay. Here we go. All right. So what do we see? Skeletal Scrying. I guess the Wretch is kind of good against that and the Eternal Dragon. I should have, I mean, I knew they had those cards. I don't know why I forgot about them. But yeah, we should probably put that back. Planar Void. Definitely want the Realist still. Seal is good. Everything's pretty solid. I don't know. We could take out Hermit, but that's like our only fair-ish plan. I mean, maybe they have Planar Void, so they don't have Furnace. So maybe I trim an Uktabi. Feeder, maybe not as good as I thought. I could board in like a Furnace. Or maybe I trim Rector because they have Planar Void. Well, Planar Void's good against Nightmare as well. Just thinking if I want this Furnace or not. I don't really think so. Yeah, we'll just try this. Yeah, I mean, this is the kind of hand I think you just have to keep and hope things work out. We have kind of like two virtual mulligans, but we do have some of the cards we want. Okay, yeah, my bird is almost certainly getting swords here, which is going to be very unpleasant, but I don't think I can afford to not play it. Gerard's Verdict could actually be good here. Yeah. Okay, so I got the Triskelion. Do I want to hedge by keeping an extra creature? I don't think I have to. I don't know. My deck's full of creatures. Just gonna hope I am gonna be okay there. It's going to take a really long time for me to avoid exposing Veteran Explorer, so I'm not going to. Possible I should have discarded Seal instead of Orangutan. There's the Planar Void, sure. So I could Nightmare right now and actually, yeah, I could Nightmare, get 2 lands, and then play the Seal and get rid of Void, and I won't. The only way it really backfires is if they kill Triskelion in response, and then it'll be gone forever. I guess it does get rid of my Explorer forever as well. Okay, maybe I should just wait 1 turn. Feels like that's a little maybe too conservative though. I mean, we still have Deranged Hermit. I think I'm going to do this. I suppose they also could Swords it in response, but then they would also have to have a disenchant for this, which would be, I'd be asking a lot. This does still work, right? Yeah, you don't have to exile it or anything. Yikes. All right, that's pretty good. Guess I hold that. I don't strictly need it. No. All right, I just need to fade them. Drawing anything good for a turn here. Or anything too good anyway. Okay, we go get Squee, then we go get Bone Shredder, and then whatever else happens after that. Okay, so that's a one-time use, Llanowar Wastes. I guess I can use it to get Palinchron in my graveyard. Seems reasonable. Computer's starting to lag pretty good here, so we'll see if we have enough juice to finish this game off.
What am I getting here? Probably just a Wall of Blossoms, in which case I guess I can Duress right now. Maybe a Wall of Roots, Duress my Duress, okay. Do I want Roots or Blossoms? Actually, maybe I want Carrion Feeder, then I can just sack Rector next turn. I don't have I think it makes sense to get Wall of Blossoms. Okay. Now if we draw land, I think we're good. Oh, unless they draw something. So we can go get our other veteran explorer. Did not draw land, but still decent. And I can get a bunch more lands. All right, let's try this. I think maybe this can work. Okay, so that's what they have. Oh, they're digging for a swords, I guess. We did not find it. Okay, I guess they thought I could win there. Maybe I could if I play Veteran Explorer, Recurring Nightmare, but then I still only have 2 lands. Well, either way, it would have been a pretty big advantage. So maybe that made sense. All right, 2-1. We'll be back for the next round. That's keep. Another swamp. Okay. Looks like we might be against Contamination again. Birds seems like a good one to have. I wouldn't mind this Veteran Explorer dying, I don't think. Yeah, I'm going to offer this. Oh, actually, no, that's bad. They'll just take 1 and then I won't be able to block, so I won't bother with that. I do think should I land Survival or should I play Birds? I haven't played a discard spell yet. I'll play Birds. let's see. So tap 1. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Minus 1. Okay, so I just need to end with a 1 drop. I have the Wall of Blossoms, so yeah, it's basically over. I'll just get the birds, just in case. Oops. Ah, damn. I forgot to float the mana there. That's a little annoying. These last couple lands here. Okay, so we don't want Bone Shredder, as seems to be customary. I think we want Carrion Feeder. Probably want the extra naturalized type stuff for Contamination, and probably their Graveyard Hate, whatever they're bringing in. I guess they could have Withered Wretch. That would be a bit of a problem. Yeah, I don't have a great answer to that. Maybe I need to play a Faceless Butcher or something. I don't think Masticore is great here, even if you can play it under Contamination. Spike Feeder also not really what you want, so let's just board in the extra Orangutan and the extra Realist, I guess. I want this Seal too. And I want this Furnace. I'm going to keep it at 1 Realist. And I guess I'll cut 1 Nightmare because they might be bringing in stuff. Like anti-graveyard stuff. Okay, try that. Sand has a birds and 2 of my colors, so I don't really think I can afford to mulligan. It's going to be a long game. I mean, I have an eventual answer to this plague, so I kind of don't want to take that one. It doesn't, I mean, it hits birds, but it's not particularly good against me in general. I guess I'll take this Lurking Scourge. Well, I'm definitely wishing I had Duress first. Oof, that's pretty good against me. All right, I need a forest immediately. I guess I'll leave this one in hand. Mana base is catching up with me here. What am I discarding? I guess I'm discarding Seal of Cleansing. Anticipating I mean I want this to not get removed. Planes, yeah, okay. That's what I deserve, I guess. Well, I can Mesmeric Fiend, I suppose. Okay. That's not good. Oh, they're just taking survival. I guess that makes sense, but yeah, and I can get rid of my Veteran Explorer if they want. Which oh no, they can't. They only have one black. Okay, I have one more turn to draw out of this. Oh my god. Very cool. Okay, that might end it. I guess I'm still not totally out of this. Since I drew this birds, I guess I'll get rid of the plague.
This is almost comical at this point, the degree to which my mana base is punishing me. All right, is there any way I can not die here now that I'm at 3? Probably not. But I guess I'll try. I guess I just play Rector.
could Recurring Nightmare, but like it doesn't really get me that far here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I kind of forgot that hit enchantments as well. Oops. Yes. Yikes. Okay, yeah, I'm in a kind of a bad spot here. So I guess I was supposed to just get Wall of Roots, but then they can kill that with Powder Keg. I don't know. Okay. All right. Got one turn to trade, find an answer here. Okay, we lost because we didn't draw a green source for a billion turns. Does that change anything here? Not really. I guess I could take out a Rector since they're attacking our graveyard. The mana base of this deck is really on full display here. Amazing. I think we just got to let them wasteland this.
Yeah, I'll take that trade.
Not gonna have quite enough time to do anything here. All right, should have conceded the last game earlier. Lesson learned. All right, we will try to play faster this round. Yeah. A little scary rolling this out against Sligh, but kind of have no choice. This is what our deck does. I mean, they can just kill this whenever they want, so I'm just going to block. Despite the fact that I have Rector, well, definitely getting one forest, and I think I am going to get the plains here. Wow. Okay. We can get a lot of mana here. Yeah, I think we're supposed to do that. We've got a recurring nightmare. Killing my birds. Double fire blast? That would be kind of the worst case scenario, I guess. Mountain. Alright, I guess that's the best case scenario. Pretty sure this is just 2 mountains, but yeah. I just realized I do not have enough swamps to loop this. Okay. Well, this is awkward. I mean, I'm still at 20, but I guess we'll just try this again with another wall. And you could get Veteran Explorer, but then I don't have a creature. So yeah, I guess we'll just do the wall. Okay, there we go. Rewarded. Sort of. I mean, yeah, this is fine. Just do this again next turn, I guess. No. We can keep going. Well, I thought I would draw a creature before now. It seems like it would have been faster again to just make a hermit. Okay, there we go. There it is. Okay. Yeah. Almost fizzled there, which I mean would have been fine, but I don't think they were gonna do enough on their next turn. Okay, but we did burn a lot of clocks, so that's cool. What do we need here? Uktabi Orangutan, Spike Feeder, Absolute Law. I think maybe Duress is not really where I want to be in this matchup. I still need to keep Therapy just because of the sack outlet capacity. But I can cut Duress. Wretch is not really doing a ton here. I can get rid of that. This would be 26. I want to keep in Monk Realist for Vortex. Masticore is not that good here. I could probably cut that for one more thing. I mean, Masticore's okay, but could cut a Nightmare and lean more on Academy Rector. I guess if they disrupt my graveyard and I need to do like a fair plan, then Masticore is good. I think I'm going to play the Seal of Cleansing over a Masticore. Perfect, got my City of Brass, just what I want. Just what I want here. But the rest of the hand is pretty good, so can't really mulligan. All right. Let's do this. What is the best way to do this? Play that. I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana and a survival. Seems pretty solid. I should have played this first. Oh well. Maybe I shouldn't do that then. Yeah, I'll just try and save myself some damage here. If I played their Nightmare first, it would have been pretty safe, but alright, now I have to hold the birds because I need a creature in my hand. Slight misplay there. Hope it doesn't come back to make a difference. Seems like I'm in good shape. And they can't really disrupt this, but might as well kill these. I think if they could have disrupted it, they would have done it already. I'll leave the Goblin Patrol. I think they can kill Triskelion and Wall of Blossoms, plus I can play the feeder anyway, so yeah, I think it's pretty much over. Okay, yeah, they're going to try by fire blasting the Triskelion. Not a problem. Just get Palinchron, sack this wall. one more removal spell would have maybe interrupted it, but cool thing about this deck is that you have survival, so you can just get some more creatures. This is a little questionable, but I'm going to try it. It has the best card. Okay. Okay, I think I can afford one survival and one rector. I want the lands because I don't have any mana stuff in play yet.
Okay. All right, so they got 2 cards I don't know about. Leaving up both Swords to Plowshares, that could be annoying, but I think I'm still going for it here.
Masticore's probably not amazing here. Nor is Spike Feeder. We can get the Carrion Feeder in. Maybe the extra, probably extra Orangutan. Duress seems okay. Everything else seems kind of alright. I guess they're probably oathing. So maybe we want the Seal of Cleansing. I think our deck's somewhat well equipped to work through an Armageddon. So maybe I'll just do a Seal for a Duress. The Fiend is also kind of appealing. I guess if they're oathing, the Realist would also be Dees. Wretch, maybe no Wretch. Like it can hit Call of the Herd, but I don't think we really care that much. Try this. Not the best hand ever, but I don't think we can be super picky. It has some of my key cards in it. No tapping, eh? Okay. Very awkward. So I could blind therapy. Don't really love that. I guess I'll just throw down this deed. So if they deal with it, I don't care that much. got the orangutan for the crypt, so that's good. And the deed, I guess. Just need to fade an Armageddon for a few more turns. Yeah, it's a little annoying. Can we just win here? Discard birds. Get Palinchron, discard Palinchron. No, because we don't have enough creatures to play for the recurring nightmare. So instead, I'm going to discard the. I can't discard the orangutan. Well, I do have another one in my deck, I guess, but. They can get my Squee if I do that, but maybe that's all right. Let me think here. So if I get Palinchron, I discard that. I get something. Go get Veteran Explorer, sack that to Tower. So that's 1, 2. I don't know. I can't really think it through right now. I just get Wall of Blossoms here. All right, so I can play Wall of Blossoms. I can go Tower, discard Uktabi, get Bone Shredder, and then at least I have a Bone Shredder in play. It's awkward because I don't have a black source, but do what you gotta do. I mean, I don't have a black source without sacrificing my creature. Still seems fine. I just need another creature to kickstart it again. Okay, I think I just hold off on everything for the moment. Next turn, maybe I just go get a Deranged Hermit and do that.
Actually, this is fine. I can try and force them to go through the furnace. Also, I forgot I had this deed in play. I should really just use that. So actually, I guess I can try and go off here. Discard this, discard Palinchron, play Recurring Nightmare. All right, so we ended up going 4-2. Could have been 5-1 if I had been a little bit more careful with clock management in one of those matches. We did play against Mono Black Contamination twice, which is a little unusual, but I think that's an okay matchup. And as far as the deck goes, I was pretty satisfied with it. The mana was really bad at times, but it worked about as well as I think we can expect. The Veteran Explorer was helpful for fixing our mana at times, as well as enabling, getting enough lands to go off or just play our cards in general. So I was happy with the Veteran Explorers. Duress maybe could do with cutting one or two of these. I think it might be good to get the Carrion Feeder into the main deck just to have another sacrifice outlet for Explorer and Academy Rector. A third Explorer is also possibly good, although that might be too many. Caller of the Claw is another card that I wasn't playing at all that I think could be kind of interesting. Since you do sometimes half go off or just do a loop or two with Recurring Nightmare. If you had the feeder in the deck, that would also make it better. So that's a possibility. As far as the sideboard, I wasn't thrilled with it, but I'm also not sure how I would change it. I think you want the two graveyard cards. I think you want the extra realist and the extra orangutan and probably the extra feeder. Carrion Feeder, if that goes to the main deck, you wouldn't need that. The rest of these cards, I don't know. I guess if I cut the Duress from the main deck, I would want some more in the sideboard. I probably want like 2 of them at least available between main deck and sideboard. Engineer Plague, we didn't play against decks where that would be good, but I still think it's reasonable to have some. These things, the maybe extra Duress, Naturalized, Sealed Cleansing, Absolute Law. I'm not sure about these. Sealed Cleansing, I feel like you probably should play. But the issue in general is just you can't take out that many creatures, and the other cards are sort of, I mean, there aren't that many other cards besides creatures that you could trim on Recurring Nightmare. You could cut the Deed. You could trim Duress or Therapy, but if I'm talking about trimming Duress, then you won't have those to cut. So, and you can swap out some creatures, but I don't think you want to go too far below 25 in this survival deck. So I think these slots maybe could be better occupied by creatures that would be good to board in, but I don't really know what else you would want. So if you have an idea for a creature, or I guess just any card that you think could be good in the sideboard, feel free to post in the comments. I forgot to say this in the first intro video, but if you are liking what you're seeing, please like and subscribe for more. There will be more interesting decks being played on this channel in the future. I guess that is about it for this deck. It seems to go pretty well. I do have a post about the White Lightning deck up on my blog. It's sort of about building White Weenie in general in Premodern and my experience playing that deck. So I'll link to that in the comments, but my blog is also linked in the channel description, I believe. So that's it for this league. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.